Hello, everybody. My name's James. Welcome to day two of Planet FPL Correspondent Week. And I've got one of our newly promoted correspondents with us. He's Ed Salinger. How are you, Ed?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. For those
Well,
who
I
might
say I'm
not.
good, but England had just been lost to cricket, so fair play to late risers, off prize, all the Indian fans. But no, I'm not in a good mood.
Someone's, I mean, we're pre-recording on Monday afternoon. Someone's going to make a joke that you might get used to losing this week, mate. But yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Too soon,
Uh,
too soon.
yeah, too soon, too soon. Enjoy all the victories you had last year. It led to a brilliant promotion. But for those who perhaps didn't listen to the podcast with yourself and Jack when you joined me after your promotions were concerned, just tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit about yourself and your fandom of Leeds, mate.
Well, I'm Ed. I'm 47, live in Leeds. Got a season ticket. I've had a season ticket on and off most of my life. Well, maybe not most of my life because I lived away from Leeds for a bit, but certainly the last 10 years I've had one. So go to all the home games, seen some of the good and the bad that brings with supporting Leeds United. So this hopefully would be the start of a good period, but that's what we're here to find out, isn't it?
You feeling confident?
When we did the promotion pod, I was a little bit less confident just because it was the middle of like, well, not the middle, but still in the last season where all the promoted teams were getting dicked still. So I was a bit, how the hell are we going to survive? But with our transfer policy, which we'll get onto, I'm reasonably happy that we're going to have a chance at least. At least I'm not going to say we're going to stay up, but I'm reasonably confident.
I don't see why you wouldn't be, mate. Someone's got to break this eventually. We can't have this forever where every team that gets promoted goes back down. It's natural that, many neutrals will anticipate struggles for the free promoted sides. What do you make of the fixtures, mate?
The opening fixtures, well,
Yeah.
they're decent. They are decent, aren't they? Everton on a Monday night, Elland Road. They're not going to love it, and they've got their own issues. So
Yep.
yeah, they'll be favourites, I assume. But that's not a bad start. Arsenal's a free hit, really, isn't it? And then what we've got Newcastle, who knows who'll be playing for Newcastle by then. And then it's not too bad, is it? There are hopefully by the time we speak next, we'll have some points on the board, but we'll have to find out.
Yeah, you've got you and Wolves. We've already organised that you're going to come on Clash of Correspondence with Bradley Parker when you play Wolves because the two of you, when you play each other in game week 5, both come into a really good swing of fixtures. Actually, that's quite sustained for you for a little while actually before it gets a little bit naughty again, sort of around about game week 11 or so. But yeah, I think it's a good start. It's a good opening fixture, and then that run from game week 5 is pretty good. What can you tell us? I mean, we're going to go through the squad and kind of give you all the detail on some of the players you might know. What can you tell us about some of the new signings? Firstly, Lucas Perry signed from Leon. Is he going to be number one? I guess.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. In fact, his manager actually did a good game, called him the best goalkeeper in the world. So I'll take that. But I've seen as you do, I've seen the YouTube clips, and he's got this thing he does where he launches the ball at field because he used to play volleyball. He actually punches the ball rather
Yeah,
than
I've seen
throws it.
that.
It's quite impressive. So I'm looking forward to that. He's a big lad. Everyone we bought's a big lad, basically. So take that as read. But yeah, there's no chance that he's not number one. He's been signed with that in mind. Just
Okay.
whether he's fit is going to be the problem.
What do we know about Xhaka Bijol, who's joined from Udinese?
We know that he's another big lad. This is going to be a common theme that over 6 foot, 26 years old is kind of the. In fact, the Leeds themselves have made a thing of this in social media about who they've signed. Like this is not a secret. They are looking to sign big lads because of their physicality. But he's well, shout out to the above average boys who talk about cats and dogs. He's definitely the dog type, as is Rodon. So I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, he'll definitely be first. I'm pretty confident he'll be first choice, although he can't play against Everton for because he got suspended in his last game in Serie A, and apparently it carries over. I did not know that, but that's the truth. So it's going to have to be someone else playing centre back against Everton.
Yeah, I know you just reminded me. I know Dan Lord's quite regretful for getting Ryan Gravenberch obviously suspended for Liverpool's game week 1 against Bournemouth, not a carryover from another league, obviously. Sebastian Borno, what do we know about him?
He's more being brought in as cover, I think. I mean,
Uh,
he can't get a game over Wout Faes for Belgium, so I'm not overly looking forward to that. But yeah, he's just another decent centre back who will cover because I think we're probably going to lose someone who could be quite interesting for fantasy, but I don't think he's going to play or even be at Leeds. So that is Pascal Struijk. So he's been more in as cover rather than first choice. I think it'll be Rodon and Vivial will be the first choice centre backs.
we'll get on to Struijk in a bit. Gabriel Goodmanson signed for Lille. Many
Yeah.
anticipating he's going to be first choice left back. Is that right?
No, there's not. There's no doubt because our only other
Wow.
left back's Sam Byram, and he's not of the level. So yeah. Goodmanson's 100% first choice.
Anton Stack, midfield player.
He's the one I'm most excited about so far. I think he's open. I might have made this up. I'm sure he openly said that he's using this as an opportunity to try and get in the German squad for the summer. So yeah, his stats are really good. He's and yeah, again 6'4", 26. He looks good. He looks good in all areas. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League.
Sean Longstaff, be a more familiar face to many, joined from Newcastle. What do you think of that one?
He's actually played a lot more for Newcastle than I thought he had. I thought he was a bit more second team than he was, but yeah, he's another. I've not seen him because he's only played. Well, sorry, I saw him against Villarreal, but he's hardly played, and I'm not going to put that. He wasn't great, but who cares? It's just a friendly. But yeah, he's another combative guy. Knows the league, runner, energy, just the sort of player you need to survive in the Premier League. Just to have competition for places, although it may well be first choice. I don't know.
And Lucas Nemecha joined on a free transfer, was released by Wolfsburg. Not likely to be first choice. Would that be fair
No,
to
I
say at the
wouldn't have
moment?
thought so, but he has done a job. The thing is, one of those players that the manager likes because he's a willing runner, runs the channels and all that sort of thing, does the donkey work. So he may see more minutes than I would anticipate, but I can't see it. There's no way they bought him with the idea of him being first choice. That's just not a thing. But he just might get more minutes than we think.
You are having a go, Ed. That's clear. Across them signings, I'd make that out to be about sort of 75 million pounds worth of signings, and we certainly expect more investment to come. Before we kind of cover the squad and system and tactics, what more do you feel is needed? What's a priority for Leeds in the remaining period of the transfer window?
Well, this is quite an easy one because they've actually said what they want, and Farke's intimated as well after the Villarreal game. He said we need 3 or 4 players, and the obvious places are we need backup fullback because at the moment it's Sam Byram on both sides, and Bogle missed the Villarreal game, and Schmidt had a bit of a shocker if we're honest. So we definitely need a backup fullback. Clearly need a striker. They're clearly looking for a striker who will try who, of the caliber that will be first choice. Left winger, definitely, because we still don't have one at the moment. If the game week one was tomorrow, we'd be willing Onto on the left, who hasn't hardly played there, even though he's all right. So yeah, we're definitely looking for that and maybe a 10 because we don't have a 10 at the club. But I think that's less of a priority because of the system we're going to play. But definitely left winger, definitely a striker, and definitely cover for fullbacks.
Okay. Nine,
You what? Sorry.
a new number nine as well.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
striker. Yeah.
Would Isaac Schmidt play right back at the moment as it stands game week
He
one
has
then?
to. He has to. Yeah, he played against Villarreal and he was terrible. He's another one who probably won't be with us when the transfer window closes. But if Pogle's injured, he has to play.
You know what people were hearing when they hear that? The FPL wheels are turning. Illiman and Die,
Yeah, but
game week one.
I Fark intimated that he could be involved against Milan. So, and even if he's not, as long as he's in training by Everton, he'll play because he's one of our best players. So they'll do it. He'll play if he's not 100%. He just is like as long as he's not 40%, he'll play.
Okay. Talk to me about Daniel Farker. When we spoke, obviously you still had one game to go in the championship after your promotion was clinched. There was some speculation at that point that he might not even stay, i.e., were Leeds considering appointing someone that they would deem to be a level up. Are you happy that he stayed?
Yeah, there was like a period of clickbait rubbish with people like Mourinho being linked, but our chairman nipped it in the maybe not nipped it in the bud because it lasted a while, but he said that Fark's their man. Obviously, that can change if we lose a few games. No one's safe, but yeah, he deserves the chance, and he's been really straight talking. That we've had Bamford, he's told he's surplus to requirements. We've had Matteo Joseph saying he wants to leave, and he's told us straight what's happening. They've been told to train within the 21s, so he's not messing about. Like he's running a tight ship. So yeah, he's done fine, but we just need more signings, and it's hard to judge us till we get them because our attack is a very lightweight. Defense and midfield looks fine, but the attack is where we need improvement.
What do you make of that treatment of Bamford?
Well, this is professional football, isn't it? Like it should have happened ages ago. I really like the guy. I don't know if you've heard it, but he does a podcast with Joe Wilkinson of 8 out of 10 Cats fame, and it's really good. You don't have to be a Leeds fan to enjoy it. It's just about the life of a footballer, and he comes across as a really nice lad. So,
Yeah.
on a personal level, it sucks, but professionally, it probably should have happened a while ago because he's just perma injured. He perma injured. I think it's just he got ruined by Bielsa. Basically, there's a lot of players who had the peak of their career under Bielsa and since have struggled through injury or form or whatever. So yeah, he's another one of those. Fortunately, it had to be done.
Change of intensity? Because you were so intense, obviously, under Bielsa.
Yeah, well, you have to. You can't. There's nowhere to go from Bielsa is there? Any
No,
more
I
than that.
suppose
Is
not.
he talking deaf? So yeah, we had to go down a bit. Yeah, so we are more about controlling the ball, which of course is a lot easier in the championship. But yeah, we are going to try and be. That's where the system comes in. It's going to be a 4-3-3. I think that we're moving to. So it's going to be a lot more defensively solid in theory. Whether it will be in practice, we'll have to see.
Do you miss Bielsa still?
I do, yeah, of course I do. But then
I hear the same from every Leeds fan.
you can't. It's hard to put into words what because you have to figure that we'd been absolute crap for years before he came, and not just crap. It's one thing being crap, but there's another thing being stagnant. Like the crowds were getting really bad because I remember going to games on Tuesday nights with like 10,000 there, and it holds 38 or something around there. So yeah, it's the stagnancy. If you like even in League One's not a problem because you win games in League One, so the fans turn up. It's when you have in a season where you finish 15th like 4 times in a row, and the chairman or the owner is doing nothing to improve you. You're just selling your best players, going nowhere. That's when apathy comes in. So yeah, Bielsa changed all that for us. And then when you add that to how excited we were to watch at both ends, then yeah, he's a bit of a god around these parts.
No, I get that completely. You mentioned about buying big physical players. Should people expect you to be quite direct then?
Yeah, this is not going to be pretty. Not going to be. It's not going to be Bielsa, that's for sure. But the thing is, people we've realised now that you just have to stay in the Premier League. We are screwed if we go back down because of the PSR stuff. Like we need to be in the Premier League 3 years before we're not before we. I think it's something like 22 million pounds for every year you're not in the Premier League that you can't spend. So we need to be in it for 3 years before we get our full quota back. So yeah, this is all about staying up this season. Don't care how it looks, just get enough points to do it.
It's interesting that though, because I think of most people will probably be more familiar with Daniel Farke, obviously seeing him with Norwich in the Premier League. You wouldn't have labelled Norwich as being a kind of a real physical team. In fact, we're often kind of recognised as a bit of a soft touch, really. Do you think that's him learning, and is he kind of picking the, I guess, type of signing you're having, or is that just coming from above him and he coaches the team?
I'd like to think it's a bit of both, but it's definitely come from above. Like the 49ers, who they brought in to oversee the signings, it's all the same message coming down from them about physicality. So I don't know how much input he had into it, but surely he agrees because the Premier League's full of fast and powerful players, isn't it? So we need that.
And you're saying we should expect 4-3-3?
Yeah, it was 4-2-3-1 in the championship, but that's because we had the ball so much. So now it's probably going to be 4-3-3, which means we won't have a 10, which means it's very likely that the centre forward will be a bit isolated. So it's not going to be pretty, but obviously we'll hope to hurt teams on the break.
It's interesting that a complete kind of change of strategy from what got you promoted. Yeah, I think teams are going more down this model now of what worked there can't work here. And
Well,
I'd
look at
say,
Burnley. Burnley,
yeah, well, it's not the
they
sort
were
of team.
terrible, wasn't it?
It's not the sort of team you want to be. But I suppose ultimately the only thing that matters this season is finishing above that line. You've kind of already said it in terms of above 18th. Then you evolve a little bit like kind of what Brentford had done. Felt so physical when they came up. They're involved to play a bit more football now, etc. How important will the atmosphere be? You'd alluded to that with problems with lower attendances, but you're a giant football club, massively
It will
well
be like
supported.
we're one of the few remaining sort of old stadiums. So if you want to call it a shithole, that's up to you. But I like it because the fans are close to the pitch. There's not too many tourists there so far, and it is a really good atmosphere. So it will. I'm loath to say that it will get us a few points here and there because I don't know if that's true. But the problem is, whilst it can be inspiring, like if you're not playing well, it can go the other way as well. So it is up to the players ultimately to give the performances that the fans will like. But Yeah, he was going to help. So keeping the fans happy with decent signings would be a great start.
I'm not going to say it's a shithole because we got you in game week 7, and that feels quite close. And I will happily say I think the away end is a bit of a shithole.
Oh, the whole
But
place is shit.
Elland Road certainly still. I didn't say that.
By
El
modern standards, this is like I love it. Don't get me wrong.
We it's still got character, isn't it? I think Everton fans are going to love their new stadium, but they're gonna miss certainly aspects of Goodison Park without a doubt. Your stadium's in for some work as well, right?
Yeah, they're increasing the capacity to about 55, I think, moving it upwards. So yeah, that should basically it's just a ruse to. If I'm being cynical, it's just a ruse to have less season ticket holders because they get much more money from the day trippers. But let's not get into that. But he's gonna improve the atmosphere probably just because there'll be more people. Yeah,
But I've heard a lot of concern from Leeds fans about the potential that away fans would be moved behind the goal.
yeah.
That's not happening now, is it?
Nah, that is a weird one because a lot of the obviously the hardcore used to be in the cop, which is the other side, but when the South Stand became available, a lot of them moved across. So you actually get more of the nutters, for want of a better term, in the South Stand. So yeah, if
Yeah.
they give the away fans that, because at the moment, well, you know where it is. It's just that it's to the right, to the left of it, isn't it? If that became home fans, it'd be a weird dynamic. So I don't know how that's going to work because all the people that are in the South Stand want to go back to the cop if that happens. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Away fans obviously often go to many grounds in the Premier League and take the piss out of the atmosphere. You know where the noise is at Leeds, and it's right next to you as an away fan. You can feel it. It's quite good. But I think if you're going to rebuild that side, it's going to be difficult to leave the away fans next to what will be, I guess, your most expensive tickets. That'll be what the thinking is, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, how important is it though? I think like it's probably less of a thing for Burnley, but for yourselves and Sunderland, there's a capability there to create big attendances and big noise. Is that something you're going to really play into in terms of the importance of home games?
It has to be. You need like you've heard people. Obviously, it's back in the day, but you've heard people like Alex Ferguson saying that it was always the hardest place to come because, I mean, that's a bit different because we hate Man U, but it just that was always been one of the. I think there's quite a few people said it's been one of the hardest places to visit just because the fans are on top of you and giving it their all, and you can tell there's maybe a bit of an edge to the atmosphere. If I'm honest, is it can turn quite vitriolic. And that can go both ways depending on how the team are playing. But yeah, he's massive for us. We need everyone behind us. Like Daniel Farke's often referred to us as the 12th man, so we'll try and do our best for him.
Yeah, I'd no doubt you'd be very up for it, and that's quite exciting. The idea of the Monday night game under the lights, first game back. It will not be easy for Everton. Let's talk through the squad and potential FPL assets here. There's two 4.5 defenders. You already mentioned both of them, Jaden Bogle and Pascal Struijk. Ed, I've not forgiven Ed for telling me that Pascal Struijk wasn't on penalties when I owned him in Gaffer. Jaden Bogle unavailable. We think at the moment game week 1, or we're not sure. Hopefully he
No,
might be back for the
I
Milan
think
friendly at the weekend.
yeah, this is the problem with recording now is that there are a lot will be told in the Milan game in a week, but I think he's going to struggle to make Milan, but they'll make every effort possible to have him fit for game week 1 because he's different league to whatever else would play there. So I'm hopeful he'll play. It doesn't sound too serious, but again, we know how useless manager sort of press conferences and injuries are these days. So who knows what the actual truth is?
Ultimately, the intention though would be for him to be first choice right back. I'm guessing
Oh, it's
throughout the
not. It's not
season.
a. It's not a conversation. Yeah, he's 100% first choice.
You'd be looking for more someone to stand in for him of a higher
Just back
quality
up the
than what
X.
you've got.
If he gets injured, we've got nothing good.
One of the things I read about a cute little theory in terms of the signing of Longstaff might well operate as the right side of your free central midfield. So quite flat, but it will allow fullbacks to go.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a typical Fark play. That is the width will be through our fullbacks, but also maybe they'll tuck in when we don't have the ball. So it's kind of trying to get the best of both worlds of attack and defense.
I'm going to presume, though, you wouldn't say you paid 4.5 for Bogle, even if he's confirmed fit for game week 1.
Or I don't know. I mean, the DEFCON changes it up, doesn't it? If DEFCON wasn't a thing, then I'd definitely say Bogle's worth it because I don't think Rodon's got that much goal threat, to be honest. And Strout's not going to play. Strout does have goal threat, but I don't think he'll play. And I don't know about Big O because I've never watched him. So apart from the weekend, but yeah, So yeah, it will be Rodon and Vivial 100% as our two centre backs.
What's the situation with Struijk?
He basically he's probably too good to be backup, but he's not seen as good as the other two, so he doesn't get a game. That's pretty much the sum of it.
So what are your centre back options as it stands?
The first choice, I assume, I could be wrong, but I assume it'll be Vivial will definitely be first choice because he's a cut above.
But can't play
Um,
game
we,
week 1.
yeah, can't play game week 1, so I'm pretty sure it'll be Rodon and Strauch, but it's possible Ampadu will play. But I don't think they see Ampadu as a centre back. They
Yeah.
see him more as a midfielder. So Westy perfectly fine to slot in for one game. I don't see why they wouldn't play Strauch.
So there's every chance here two of your first choice back four is missing game week 1. Have I got that right?
I don't know about every chance. I think Bogle will probably play, but yeah, if not, it'll be Schmidt. And yeah, the yeah, basically whoever plays alongside Rodon won't be there long term. And even if Ampadu is, he's not. Is he a midfielder in the game? I'm not sure. I
Ampadu,
think he's
yeah.
yeah. So obviously he won't be an option in FPL anyway. But yeah, it will definitely be Rodon and Vivial first choice, in my opinion.
From the 4.0s, then, I guess this is a conversation about Rodon versus Goodmanson.
Well, I would
Should,
say Rodon just because of DEFCON. That's as simple as that. Because I don't think. Well, he was quite attacking at the weekend, but that's because Bogle wasn't playing, and I doubt we'll be attacking both sides in the Premier League. So, and his stats wise, he's not that great in terms of his attack either. He spammed a few crosses in, to be fair to him, but there was nothing where you thought, wow. So I would imagine our main threat in terms of fullbacks will be the right side because Bogle's a different class of player in my opinion. So, but for the four guys, yeah, it's got to be Rodon just because of DEFCON, I think. Stroud could be a great pump for game week 1 because he does have good goal threat, but just pointless playing 4.5 when you can play 4, pay 4 for Rodon.
any chance Strat to be on the pens?
Nah, he did. There was a
Okay.
friendly in Germany against, I can't be bothered trying to pronounce them, but Stroud was on the pitch and Piroe was on the pitch and Piroe took it and scored, so no.
Okay. I guess the danger, because I'd seen Goodmanson in more teams than Rodon, despite the overall ownership being the same, basically. With Goodmanson, you were really clear on knowing that he's going to be first choice left back.
Yeah,
That's what he's been brought in
yeah.
to do. Junior Firpo's left the club, not really any doubt. There's currently no doubt as it stands that Joe Rodon would start game week 1 as well. But I guess if you invested in another centre back, he could lose his place.
He could, but I don't think we will. We've already bought who we bought. I can't see us going anywhere else. Like I could be wrong. Is the only thing. Like maybe they fancy Ampadu and there'll be Ampadu and Strauch, and then obviously Bivio when he's available. But I'm pretty sure it'll be Rodon. He's been brilliant. I don't understand why it wouldn't be him.
Okay. Joe Rodon's a player I obviously know well. Was at Tottenham, and he definitely does fit the prototype of what sort of centre back would absorb the DEFCON stuff. Yeah, he is that. He will put his body on the line for anything.
The only thing I
Um,
can think is may he be a bit similar to Bivio, and then maybe they'll want to change it up a bit with Ampadu. I don't know, but I will be amazed if Rodon's not first choice.
are you intending to start with him?
Me, this is very complicated because it depends on my chip strat. If I'm bench boosting, then yeah. If not, no. So I don't know. But if I'm going to have a Leeds defender for game week 1, it would be Rodon for
Okay.
DEFCON and because he's 4.
Well, was just trying to think out then why you wouldn't, as he's a 4.0 defender, why you wouldn't still go with him even if you're not bench boosting.
Um,
I'm just
because
intrigued
I'm
by that.
definitely bench. This is where it gets complicated because I'm definitely bench boosting in game week 1 or 3. So I need, and I'm not going to play him against Newcastle. So yeah, he's basically the same thing. He's just if I don't go in 1, then I'll get maybe Dorgo or someone. So that's where it just changes who I get depending on what my strat is. But I
Hold
will be
on.
bench boosting early.
Everton might actually turn up at your place with a centre forward. We don't have Newcastle going to do that.
Yeah, but which one? Because is Betos going to start or is it going to be Barry? I know nothing about him and he's got a cool name.
He's got a cool name. That's absolutely right. So we think Lucas Perry's obviously coming in is going to be the number one. But am I right in saying there's doubts about him for game week 1 as well?
Yeah, he didn't play at the weekend. He was nursing a minor injury. I'm not sure what part of the body, but he's not trained with the team yet. I don't think, but I think there's a fair chance he'll play against Milan. If he doesn't, but what are you supposed to do? Because we play on the Monday night, the deadline's a Friday night. I've in all my times as a Leeds fan, I've never had a source, as in on Twitter, that I've thought this is a good ITK. So I don't know how we'd get any reliable information on that. So
Right. So
if
Leeds
he's not
ITK shit, yeah?
not shit, I just don't know any. Like I know through FPL, I know most clubs where you can who you can trust and who you can't. Apart from Newcastle, is just trust no one,
Yeah.
isn't it? But with Leeds, I don't know anyone who I would count as an ITK. I'd probably just go with the athletic correspondent, but he doesn't tend to do clickbait stuff. So yeah,
Is that
basically
Phil Hay, is it?
no, he used to be. He's gone. It's Baron Cross now.
Okay. Yeah, I guess a lot of people kind of lost the Darlow dream here, basically, is how it looks.
It's
And I
too risky
think,
because he could play, or it might be that you could go with Perry and he doesn't play unless Fark comes out and says he's fit or he's not fit, then we just
well,
won't
that's
know.
it. I think for Darlow to be an option for those, I guess, primarily looking for 4.0 goalkeeper, although time recorded Martin Dubravka to Burnley might be one that develops. But if Perry's ruled out, that would maybe, we could suddenly be in a position here where we go, ah, bollocks, Dubravka's going to be number one at Burnley. Darlow's going to start against Everton. 8.0 for the goalkeepers. We've all found an extra million or a million and a half. He needs that though, doesn't it? For Darlow to be a game week one option, it needs Daniel Farke to say he's out,
Yeah,
clearly,
and the thing is,
basically.
Perry, we want Perry in goal, so he's going to do everything to get him ready. Not that Darlow's done anything wrong because he hasn't, but if he's fit, he will play Perry. So unless he's 100% ruled out, I just can't see it being worth the risk. Maybe go with Dubravka against as an homage to Andy Martin, a leggy Spurs. Maybe go with Dubravka if he signs.
Shout out Andy. Hope you're enjoying the pod. I assume that under the circumstance, if Perry wasn't available, is there no doubt that Darlow would play in goal, or could
What over
it?
Melier?
I'm
That would be one of the worst managerial decisions in the history of PR. I think if he went with Melier to get him in the shot window or something over Darlow. I think you want to talk about a toxic atmosphere. I think Elland Road would just yeah, no, it's going to be Darlow if it's not Perry.
Why is that? Because obviously, again, people have perhaps not watched the championship. With someone in the Premier League, he's kind of skinny lad, capable of very good saves, the odd error, but you looked at him and thought he's going to develop. Has he gone backwards from that
He's
player that
not,
played in the
well,
Premier League?
he's not gone forwards. Let's put it that way. It's really bizarre because I remember this. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but I remember when we played Arsenal in the cup. And some of the Arsenal journalists were there, and they were with Phil Hay, who was our journalist at the time, and they just turned around at half time and just went wow because they'd never seen Leeds before. We give Arsenal a proper game till half time, then they bought on Aubameyang and won it eventually. But yeah, Meslier in that game was kicking the ball so well. He looked brilliant, and it was one of the best debuts I can remember from a goalkeeper because obviously he had plenty of work against Arsenal, but he's just never kicked on. He was decent in the season we got ninth when we came up under Bielsa. He was fine. But ever since then, he's just made. He obviously had a lot of work since then. It's hard to judge him because he was getting. Well, you saw when the game where Bielsa got sacked when you boys won 4-0 at Elland Road. He was getting through a lot of work, wasn't he? But
Yeah.
yeah, in the championship, he just made too many mistakes, too many silly mistakes.
Yeah.
it's as much for him that he needs a fresh start as it is for Leeds.
I mean, yeah, ultimately, it didn't cost me. The error at Sunderland, that was last year, was it? Last season?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was.
I've
I
never seen
still
a goal
can't get.
like that in my life.
It's the worst I've ever seen, I think, just because it was literally, just because of the context, it was literally the last kick of the game. If he'd have caught that, he would have taken the goal or taken the clearance, and then the ref would have blown for full time. So just 2 points, we never got back. Didn't matter in the end, of course,
Was it
but yeah, that
headed
wasn't.
back by one of your players?
I can't remember, but he was going at the speed of a snail, and it just sort of
Yeah,
hit
it
him,
was
and it
one of
just
them where goalkeepers should be like that. He's just about to catch it in his stomach. It's end of story. And I don't know, Whams. It just completely loses the flight of the end, almost stepping out of the way of it. Weird. Okay, I'm beginning to see Joel Piroe in more and more teams. What do you think?
he's in mine. He's in mine.
Now, that's interesting
He's been really
because
good pre-season, really good.
I know, and its form looks good. I don't think, as it stands now, there seems to be very little doubt that he's going to play as the nine for you opening day. Got pens, good price, good opening fixture. All seems fine for game week one, but I really think you're going to spend on a forward here, mate.
Yep, I do too. The Muniz hasn't gone completely dead yet, so
No.
that's the guy I'd want, just because I think he's as good as we can get for the money. The problem is we were after a guy called, I'm going to butcher this, but called Pat Chow, as a Brazilian winger, who had a lot of Rafinha vibes to him. So of course, as soon as we were linked with him, everyone went on YouTube and thought this guy's as good as Rafinha, clearly. So when that fell through, everyone was a little bit pissed off. But he ended up going to Marseille, of course, in the Champions League. So I guess that swung it. But we offered 30 million for him, and apparently they'd actually accepted before he decided on Marseille. So that was close. But the fact is, everyone knows we've got 30 million pounds to spend now. So that's going to make it tricky. But the club's response to us failing was basically that there aren't that many players in the price bracket we're looking at that are much better than what we've already got. And so when someone like Pat Chow came up, who is clearly better than what we've already got, we had to go for it. But we're not. Their official line is basically we're not going to push the boat out unless we think we're going to get someone. But they would say that because everyone knows we've got 30 million to spend. So it's all smoke and mirrors, isn't it?
Yeah, but you potentially got more than that, right? Are we
Yeah,
limiting
yeah.
that just to
But again,
30?
we don't want to go. We just don't want to let people know exactly what we got to spend because that's just the way business is done. But
I
yeah, we're
agree.
definitely looking for a striker. It's been what it's not a secret that we're looking. Piroe should not be our first choice number 9 the whole season. As
So,
well as
so,
he's done, I just don't think he will be.
so isn't there too much of a danger here that you invest in him and this is just leading to a transfer straight away?
Yeah, but again, this is where Strat comes in because I will be a wild card in early. If you're going to have him as your eighth attacker, thinking he'll do a job for till game week 13 or wherever, then no, that's unlikely.
Right. So that's kind of key point because as well, there might be some looking at this going, I'll carry him early. He's fairly cheap. It's 5.5. I see lots of teams, including mine's got an eighth attacker that's even more expensive than that at the moment. I'll
Uh,
carry him. I'll play him game week 1. I'll bench him at Arsenal game week 2. And then the fixture's really nice from game week 5. But we've got to look at this and think that the window shuts and you've
Yeah,
got
I'll,
another
I'll be
40.
brutally honest. The only reason I really like him over the Sunderland boys is that I'm not 100% sure he's going to start for them. Or maybe it will be after you do your pod with Spencer, but at the moment I'm not 100% sure. So Piroe is nailed, and of course he's on penalties where the Sunderland boys might not be. And Isidore missed 2 in a game against Burnley last season, so even if he is, it might not be great. So that's why I like Piroe. I like Everton could easily win 1-0. Like that's what they do. So he's just cheap and will play in his own pens is what I like about him.
So short term, okay, but you got to be prepared that
Yeah, if you think you're
it's
going to get 10 games out of him, that's very, very unlikely.
all right. Let's slice that a different way then. What's the chances that the transfer window closes and you don't buy a striker?
I would like to think low, but who knows if Leeds. I think we'll get someone in, yeah. I'm confident we will. I just don't know who. There's even
You,
people talking about Hoyland, for God's sake, but I don't know if that'll happen.
well, preempting, we've already said obviously you're going to come back on ahead of that kind of swing in game week 5. But if you didn't sign, how good of an option is he?
So, Piroe,
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, it depends how the other teams do. Who else has got a 5-5 striker? Like maybe Minded as well, maybe Burnley, whoever they've got as well. Like I don't know. It's possible, but
Might be Muniz going off at Fulham.
yeah, maybe. Like if he plays whoever he plays for regularly will be better than Piroe. That's just obvious. But I just the way we're set up is we're going to be very very combative. We're not gonna smash. Well, hopefully we do, but it's unlikely we're going to smash teams. I don't know how many goals there will be to go around. So yeah, I would not want to have him as a long term pick, even if he does end up staying there.
Okay. You've been warned, people, but it works for you, Ed. Good luck. 5.5 midfielders. Any interest there?
The problem is they're all much of a muchness. They're sort of equally average, so that's a bit harsh. Like Dan James has done fine, but and with the thing, Willie Gnonto just doesn't seem to be able to put it together for 90 minutes. Like he's probably the most Premier League of them all because he's a small lad, well built, stocky. He's got very good ball control, progresses it well. Like he's more of a Premier League football, and Dan James is a bit more tap and run, isn't he?
Crapid.
But you are sorry.
Crapid.
Yeah, I don't want to. He wasn't crapid. Like he was one of the players of the season,
No, I
so
know he had a great
I'm
season
not
for you
going to
last
call
year.
him that. But yeah, so Nonto should be decent, but the problem is none of them are going to play 90 minutes because, as I said, they're all quite similar in quality. So, like Ramzani, he's a bit of a cult hero for Leeds, mainly because he's small, dances, and comes on and scores goals as a sub. But he'll get game time. And yeah, so they're going to make changes like on 60, 70 minutes or whatever. So I don't know if they'll get enough minutes to be FPL options. And will we score enough goals either? I don't know.
What's
There's
what's the
not
story?
really.
What's the story with Jack Harrison?
Oh, this is a whole. I mean, he was one of the lot that didn't want to play. Decided they didn't want to play for Leeds when they went down, which is kind of fair enough. Short career, he's probably earned a place in the Premier League. So, but obviously that doesn't enamour fans. But then there was a video circling of his mum went to a game at Everton, and a fan came over and asked for a shirt, and then said, "Are you staying?" He basically said, "I'm paraphrasing, but basically said, are you staying? Please don't go back to Leeds." And then his mum turned around and said, "I fucking hope not." So that didn't go down very well with the Leeds fans. So he's got a lot of making up to do if he's going to get back in the trust group or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, you can't necessarily be responsible for what your mum says, can you?
No, no, no. But he's the kind of the what you know, people love to have a scapegoat. Like he's fine. He's a decent footballer. He did well for us when he came up. Again, he's another one who had the magic dust to Bielsa, and when Bielsa in there, he ain't quite as magic. Like he's just a solid Premier League winger, isn't he? He's not. I'm not going to say he's all fart no poo, but he's not far off, is he? So we can't have him as our first choice winger all
Uh,
season. No
I
chance.
I don't think Everton fans are disappointed that they haven't bought him. Is probably
Well,
the
there you
best
go
way
then.
to
Yeah.
sum it up. What about these 5.0 mids? Anything different, interesting here from, I guess, a DEFCON perspective?
Well, a stack just from the size of him, I assume, will be decent at it. But this is all new to us, all this DEFCON thing, isn't it? So, and I haven't looked at any stats, so I don't know. But I'd imagine Stack will be all right. Tanaka is probably the most interesting, just because he's probably got the best passing, and would arguably get the furthest forward of. If he's not guaranteed to play though, because we've got so many DMs. Stack, I assume, is first choice. Longstaff will be close, and then we've got Ampadu and Gruev as well. So someone's got to miss out. So I don't know. I don't know if tonight. I hope he will, because he's a bit of a hero for Leeds fans, because he was arguably our best player last season. So, but again, he's quite a small lad, so he doesn't fit into the big lad mold. So I don't know. He didn't start the weekend. I don't know if he's going to be first choice, but he will get minutes because he's class act. So he's probably the most interesting. But come on, we're not going to spend him 5 million on a Leeds player, are we? It's not going to happen. They're not. None of them are really options.
So that whole midfield then is a complete avoid. Many of us owned Joe Gelhardt a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember he won a penalty against Wolves, and then Martin Keown on Match of the Day compared him to Messi, and that was probably the peak of his career, because he's done nothing since.
Right,
Basically, just
not likely
short.
to get a look in, no.
No, no, he's nowhere near. He'll probably go out on loan, or we'll try and get some money from him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think something from that midfield area might be quite interesting, but to pinpoint who that is at the moment feels very, very difficult. It feels like it would be easy to do that similar price players at other clubs. So there's nothing there that I would be invested in.
The
I'm
problem is
fairly
I've not
certain of
really
that.
seen them play, so I don't. Maybe Stack will be like Souček. I don't know. I've just not seen him play enough. And Tanaka, I think Tanaka scored a few goals in the championship, but a lot of them were tap-ins from corners, like pinball stuff. And then he scored a couple of really good goals as well. But again, that's championship. Like whether that will translate to Premier League is dubious.
Who would be free kick corner taker? Do we know?
Oh,
Or is it
Jesus Christ! That's
combinations?
why this is why we need to sign players, because I'm struggling to tell you who's going to take him against Everton. But Jack Harrison's been taken when he's been playing, but no one wants him to play. So honestly, don't really know. Stack, maybe Stack put a decent one in at the weekend. Maybe him. I honestly don't know who'll take him.
So I guess, like, in conclusion here for FPL, we're saying Rodon or Goodmanson, if you want to invest, your
Yeah,
preference would be to go with Joe Rodon.
I think it depends. If you're long term Goodmanson, just because there's a zero threat to his minutes,
Yeah.
whereas whilst I'm high on Rodon, like I'm not Daniel Farke, I must say maybe Farke prefers Ampadu. So yeah, just for pure safety, then it has to be Goodmanson. But I would imagine Rodon will get more points just because of DEFCON.
Wait on the Lucas Perry news to see if there's still a possibility of Darlow starting game week 1, but you certainly couldn't rely on it for any period of time. Perry's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
And I guess the attacking options, it's Piroe, nothing. Or if suddenly someone like Rodrigo Muniz lands at your club this week and then starts at the weekend, it's on the table, isn't it?
I think he could end up being a no-brainer at that price if it happens, but I don't want to get excited by the prospect of that, because it may well not.
No, I
That's something for when we pod later with Bradley, I think.
I really, really like Rodrigo Muniz. I spoke about that when I saw him play against us in the League Cup second round tie. It was the first time I saw him, and he really impressed me. And he was a player I was completely unfamiliar with. I really like him, actually. He would do well for you. if you sign. I think like his physicality is much better than it is to the naked eye. Would fit into the trend of what it looks like
That's
you're trying to
Piroe's
do.
weakness. That is Piroe's weakness. He's not small, but he doesn't use his physicality that well. Like again, fine in the championship, but what's he going to do against Tarkowski? I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Well, most centre backs in this league now go and be aggressive and press in against centre forwards. So
Exactly.
that would be a little bit of a concern. Lewis James will tell us on the next episode of Correspondent Week if he thinks Rodrigo Muniz will be hanging around. Because actually, if he's going to start regularly at 5.5, be very interesting as a Fulham asset, actually. By the way, before we finish, Ed, go on and give us a game week one predicted lineup.
Right. Well, I think Perry will make it, but don't quote me on that. So Perry, Bogle better make it. So I'm definitely coming with Bogle. Then it'll be Rodon. Pretty sure it'll be Strauch, but it could be Ampadu. Obviously, Goodmanson on the left. Then it will be the three DMs. This is the hardest bit. This is the hardest bit. I'd be amazed if Stack's not one of them. Probably Longstaff and probably Ampadu. But of course, if Ampadu plays at centre back, then it'll be Tanaka. And then on the right, it'll be if he's fit, Dan James, but he's not played that much for pre-season, so it could be Aronson. Aronson could get the go if Nonto's not. Sorry, if James isn't fit, then it'll be Nonto on the left and Piroe up front. It is not beyond the realms that it'll be Nemecha up front, but I'd be amazed if it's not Piroe. I just don't want to be that bullish about it and then be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it'll be Piroe up front.
One more question, just listening to there made me think. You're saying you're wild carding relatively early. We sort of game
Yeah,
week four. You planning?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Are you intending to free hit in game week two?
yes,
How many
I
Arsenal are
really
you
like
intending
it
to
now.
have?
Sorry.
How many Arsenal are you intending to have?
What's the limit? Free, obviously. To be honest, it's more a function of there aren't that many juicy fixtures that week. So why wouldn't you have free Arsenal rather than? Obviously, I hope we manage to cause an upset, but realistically, I'm going to have Goikarez, Saka, and whatever defender I can afford.
Do you think you'll be captain one of them two attacking players as well?
Oh, Saka, yeah, Saka.
Over Gyökeres
I think so because
specifically?
the minutes are more secure, aren't they? Like I think Havertz will start against Man U just because of the running aspect of it. So he may well make his debut against Leeds. I mean, he'll get minutes against Man U, but I think he's more likely to start against Leeds than Man U. So yeah, I'm just going to take advantage of having him for 1 week and hope he misses a lot of chances.
So my actual takeaways from this pod, Ed, is that stocks are up in Illiman and Dye and Bukayo Saka. That's my
Not and
big
die. Come on,
takeaway
how
there.
many goals are Everton going to score realistically?
I think for me, Goodmanson is a real consideration. I'd just be a little doubt exactly what we've said. Just a small doubt on Rodon. I think he might prove to be the better asset. It doesn't feel like there's any doubt in terms of a minutes perspective for Goodmanson. And I guess I probably wouldn't be starting him that often. So
Just don't expect any attacking returns. He's very not junior fair play.
I'm sure we covered in when you signed him that he does like a shot, but it doesn't
Yeah, but
return much.
he's one of those that'll shoot from like 60 yards and he's never ever going to go in. Like, what's the average XG of the shot he takes? I imagine would be minuscule.
Pretty shy. Ed, thank you so much. Real pleasure, mate. Good correspondent week debut from you, pal. Anything you want to plug before we finish?
No, I can't think of anything. Not at all. Just join Patreon people because it's really, really good. There you go.
I
That's my
did.
sales pitch.
Thank you, mate. I did plan to ask you if there was any good Leeds ITKs, but we can
Maybe I've
forget
just
that
not
one.
found them. Maybe I just don't care. Maybe I just don't follow all that stuff because I just can't be bothered with rumors. But
Uh,
no, I can't think of anyone.
DM Ed FPL Rhinos on socials and tell him this is a good Leeds ITK so he can start keeping an eye on them for us. Thank you so much, mate. Said Lewis James up next on Correspondent Week, talking about Fulham. We've still got Neil Grover on Bournemouth and Tom Med on Brentford still to come later today as well. But just leaves me to say thanks very much, Ed. Be nice to each other, everyone. Cue music, please, man child.